Okay, so we're back here at the local field. There's a few jets of cloud going across the sky, quite a few large ones over there. As a matter of fact, it did say partly cloudy, so I'm not surprised at that. We still have the moon over there as well, but it looks about 3/4 full, so it should be full moon soon. That haze is getting quite bad, but I don't care, even though the wind's picking up as well. I do not care. I cannot see the constellation of Orion from my garden, so I cannot get my main telescope rig onto it. But we have a field here with a south-facing view. In fact, you can probably see Orion towards the top of the frame up here, and I've always wanted a camera that can catch the stars, and apparently I finally got one with a decent enough lens to do it. So Orion's up there, and for what I'm using to capture it, it's pretty straightforward kit today. I've got on top here, I've got the Move Shoot Move rotator. Now this is actually the old one. This is just a star tracker, just a star tracker. Like I know it's a star tracker and they cost money, but sometimes you need it so you can take longer sub exposures. On top of the star tracker, I've got a Canon 77D, not modified any way, shape at all, as original as the day it came out of the box. I didn't buy it from the box, this is secondhand. And on the front of that is a Canon 75 to 300mm Mark III lens, I believe it is. What is it? It's like 5.6 to 7.2 or something like that. It's not the fastest lens, it's not the sharpest lens, it's not the best lens for sharpness, chromatic aberration or anything, but it is telescopic, and that's really what I care about today. So the plan will be, well, I've done the polar alignment, if you can call it polar alignment. All you got to do is make sure that that laser, frickin' laser beam, points roughly at Polaris. Obviously make sure you use the laser carefully in your local regulations. And I'm just going to go for it. I cannot remember the last time I took a zoomed in photo of the Orion Nebula, and I'm dying for it. So win, lose or draw, I'm taking some photos, and you're coming along with me, if you would be so kind. I can't force you to watch this video, I just appreciate it. All right, let's get going. Okay, so now what we need to do is the framing and focusing. So I'm actually going to start it down at the 75. I'm going to put on live view, because that is how all these parties start. Live view focusing, turn it up to the most sensitive it's going to be, put the longest exposure I can do with the most wide open aperture, and I cannot see anything. Absolutely nothing. So there are no stars in view. Now I could focus on the moon, and that would be the smart thing to do, but I'm just going to wiggle it around until I see something. So what we have there looks like Rigel, so I'm just going to center Rigel in the frame, and I'm going to zoom into 300mm. And then using the live view, I zoom in on my star of choice. You can see the blob jumping around. Now this is going to be very fiddly, but now I'm just going to focus the camera using the live view, and I'm looking for it to be as small as I can. Now I'm going to call that one good. Okay, so if that is where Rigel is, and usually what happens is once you start getting there, I can see Orion's belt in the corner. I was about to say, once you start getting the other stars in frame, focus, they start appearing. Now I do not think this camera is going to be sensitive enough to pick up the nebulosity. So I'm kind of going to have to guess. Now I do know that in the Orion Nebula there is a few stars towards the bottom of it, so I actually think that's going to be okay. that might be it. Now there's only one thing I can do here, is take a test shot. I'm going to step the ISO down because this is going to be too bright. I'll do about 400. I'm going to stop the lens down even more, which is, I know it sounds ridiculous and crazy, but you need to stop these lenses down from their wide open because you'll have terrible stars in the corners. So whilst I appreciate it sounds crazy to step the lens down, sometimes you got to improve the stuff. It looks much better on the video than it does in the camera, if I'm going to be honest. But there is a 300mm picture of the Orion Nebula, and it's right in the middle. I'm actually really proud of that. That's right in the middle, and it's always so satisfying. I think the focus is out slightly and the stars are a bit egg-shaped. Got its own bulb mode, so we're going to change it over to bulb mode. Going to stop that back down to there. We're going to keep it at ISO 400, and well, right, just setting up the intervalometer here. Long exposure of 1 minute. We can see the camera is set to bulb mode, which means it will keep the shutter open for as long as the button is held. The remote shutter effectively just holds the button there for a minute long, and after that has happened, there's a 10-second wait between each shot. I'm setting about 20 photos here. I was being a bit optimistic with the wind and everything, but it turned out okay in the end. Any moment now. Ah, yeah. So it's a 1 minute long exposure. The focus is definitely out, or more likely it's getting knocked around by the wind. Oh, it's the wind.